A well-known forensic artist is in San Diego showcasing one of his latest projects, a 3D clay image of an unidentified teenager whose body was discovered in Imperial Beach nearly 30 years ago.
CBS 8's Shannon Handy is live at the medical examiner's office with details including how he did it. Shannon.
Carlo and Marcella, this is a fascinating story. While the medical examiner's office is able to identify the majority of remains that come in here, there are some people they have not been able to identify for years. That's where forensic artist Joe Mullins comes in.
I'm a forensic artist with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
It's a job Joe Mullins has had for 25 years, creating images that can help identify people who have gone missing or those who have been found but never named.
Our job is to give these nameless victims their identity back.
I met Joe at the San Diego Convention Center where the annual conference of the International Association of Police Chiefs is taking place. The FBI invited him to demonstrate how he uses skeletal remains to make 3D sculptures. The one you're seeing is that of a possible teenage boy who was found floating in the Tijuana River in Imperial Beach back in 1995.
We're not able to figure out who he was, so the remains were placed in a numbered grave, basically.
Fast forward 28 years later, knowing he'd be in town, Joe asked the San Diego medical examiner if he could help with a local cold case. From there, they exhumed the John Doe's remains. Joe then called Rady Children's Hospital, who agreed to do a CT scan of the skeleton, as well as a 3D print of it so he could get to work. Over the course of just 3 days, he built this sculpture using the 3D printed skull and clay.
It's telling the full story, everything of the face. If somebody had an overbite or an underbite, those are characteristics that you wouldn't necessarily see in that flat 2D image.
Unlike many cold cases where a victim is found in a state of decay, this one included details about what his hair looked like and what he was wearing. But his face was unrecognizable, having been in the water for so long, which is why Joe says a photograph of the actual victim wasn't enough to figure out who he was.
This is a combination of art and science to come together to put these faces back on here.
A face he hopes someone will recognize. This John Doe is believed to be a Hispanic male between 15 and 30 years old, 5'3" and 150 pounds. He had an earring in his left ear, 2 crucifix necklaces, black jeans, a green zip-up hoodie, and black low-top shoes with a red stripe.
We want somebody to see this finished facial approximation and say, I think I know who that is. Now that family will now have answers that they haven't had for, since 1995.
And if you have any information about this case, you are urged to call the San Diego Sheriff's Department or the medical examiner. Again, Joe says all it takes is one person to recognize that face.
It's great to see this effort, Shannon. Do you know if any of these sculptures have worked before in solving cold cases?
Yeah, Joe says they have worked before. He not only did this for the San Diego Medical Examiner, but this is something that he does for medical examiners across the country, and we're seeing more of. Again, he says it's using the newer technology with the 3D printing and blending that with clay, which has been used for decades, but he says it is a process that works.
It's really fascinating. Thanks so much for sharing that, Shannon.